بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله. محمد.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. I heard Muhammad bin al-Hussein say, I heard Abu al-Abbas al-Baghdadi say, I heard Abu Abdullah al-Farisi say, I heard Abu al-Hussein al-Razi say, I heard Yusuf bin al-Hussein say, I heard Abu Turab al-Nakshabi say, my animal soul was never able to obtain anything from me except once. When I was on a trip, it craved bread and eggs. So I turned away from my path and came to a village. Suddenly a man fell upon me and grabbed me, crying, "This one was together with the thieves." The people of the village threw me to the ground and beat me with a stick 70 times. As they were doing this, there came upon us a Sufi who shouted, "Woe unto you! This is Abu Turab al-Nakshabi." So they set me free and apologized before me. The man who declared me to be a thief brought me to his house and put in front of me bread and eggs. So I said to myself, "Eat this after 70 lashes." Ibn al-Jalla narrated, Abu Turab arrived in Mecca in good spirits. I asked him, "Where did you eat, master?" He answered, "I ate one meal in Basra, another one in Nibaj, and one meal here." Abu Muhammad Abdullah bin Khubayb. He was one of those Sufis who stressed asceticism. A companion of Yusuf bin Asbat he hailed from Kufa, although he lived in Antioch. I heard Muhammad bin al-Hussein say, I heard Abu Faraj al-Warathani say, I heard Abu Azhar al-Mayafariqini say, I heard Fath bin Shakraf say, when I met Abdullah bin Khubayq for the first time, he told me, Khurasanian, there are only 4 things, no more and no less. They are your eyes, your tongue, your heart, and your desire. Watch your eyes so that it would not see that which is not permitted. Watch your tongue so that you would not say with it the things that God knows you do not mean in your heart. Watch your heart so that it would contain neither malice nor envy towards any Muslim. And watch your desire so that you would not wish any evil. If you do not have these qualities, then cover your head with ashes, for you will be among the evildoers. Ibn Khubayq said, worry only about things that may harm you tomorrow, and be happy only about things that may make you happy tomorrow. Ibn Khubayq said, when servants of God alienate themselves from God, He will alienate from them the hearts of people. And when they open their hearts to God, He will make everyone open his heart to them. He said, the best kind of fear is one that shields you from committing sins, that which fills you with sorrow over the good works that you missed, and that which makes you think about the rest of your life. The best kind of hope is one that renders good works easy for you. He also said, listening to falsehood for a long time dulls the sweetness of obedience to God in your heart. Abu Ali Ahmad bin Asim al-Antaki. He was a contemporary of Bishr bin al-Harith al-Sari al-Saqadi and al-Harith al-Muhasibi. Abu Sulaiman ad-Darani used to call him the spy of the hearts due to his sharp perspicacity. Ahmad bin Asim said, if you want your heart to be serene, help it by protecting your tongue from unbecoming statements. Ahmed bin Asim said, God Most High said, your riches and your children are but a trial, and we want this trial to increase evermore. Abul Sari Mansur bin Ammar. He came from the region of Marb, from a village called Dandanakan, although some say that he came from Bushanj. He later settled in Basra and became a great preacher. Mansur bin Ammar said, whoever falls into despair because of the afflictions of this world exposes his faith to affliction. Mansur bin Ammar said, the best dress of the servant of God is humility and contrition, while the best dress of the Gnostics is righteousness, for God Most High said, the dress of righteousness is the best. They said that the reason for his repentance was that he found on the road a piece of paper on which it was written, in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. He picked it up, and when he could not find a place for it, he ate it. Then in a dream, he heard a voice telling him, the gate of wisdom has opened for you because of your respect for this piece of paper. I heard Sheikh Abu Abdurrahman as-Sulami say, I heard Abu Bakr al-Razi say, I heard Abu Abbas al-Qas say, I heard Abu Hassan al-Sha'rani say, I heard Mansur bin Ammar, I saw Mansur bin Ammar in a dream and asked what God had done to him. He answered, God asked me, are you Mansur bin Ammar? I answered, yes, my Lord. He said, are you the one who encouraged people to renounce this world while at the same time desiring it yourself? I answered, yes, this was so indeed, but I did not begin any of my preaching sessions without first praising you, then your prophet, and only after that did I begin to admonish people. God said, this is true, so bring him a chair so that he sing my glory in heaven among my angels, as he sang my glory on earth among my servants.
جزاك الله خيرا.
وإياكم.
صلى الله عليه
الله على
وسلم.
سيدنا محمد.
بسم الله. Shah Shuja Kirmani rahimahullah ta'ala said, the mark of fear is constant sorrow. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, the sign of hope is goodly obedience to God Most High. Kirmani had a piercing insight. He said, insight will always be correct for the one who lowers his gaze from illicit things, restrains his soul from passionate longings, cultivates his inner being with constant vigilant awareness and his outer being with conformity to the Sunnah, and accustoms himself to eating only the licit. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, a sign of moral character is that you do not cause harm to others and you bear the harms they cause to you. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, as long as they do not see their merit, the possessors of merit are virtuous. When they attribute virtue themselves, their merits are cancelled. Saints do not claim sainthood. The ones who claim to be saints, even if they were, are deprived of sanctity. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, truthfulness has three things: hatred of the world, detachment from the creatures, to overcome sensual passions. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, fear of God means to remain fearful of Him at all times, and that one is the most fearful who does not fulfill, and that one is the most fearful who does not fulfill divine obligations for ostentation. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, patience has three signs: not to complain, sincere surrender to His will, and acceptance of the divine decree. He, rahimahullah ta'ala, said, my example is the likeness of that chicken who is roasted alive on the spike, which is turned on the other side when it is roasted on one side. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, he rahimahullah ta'ala did not sleep for 40 years. When after a long period he slept, he saw the Lord in dream and said, O Lord, I sought you keeping awake for 40 years, but you came when I fell asleep. The divine voice said, this is the fruit of thy 40 years of wakefulness. Sahal ibn Abdullah at-Tustari rahimahullah ta'ala said, Tasawwuf is to eat little and to take rest with God and to flee from men. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, the utmost degree of gnosis is dismay and perplexity. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, love consists in embracing acts of obedience and in avoiding acts of disobedience, which implies that the devotee of God develops his kinship with God as he merges his will in his will and avoids that which is forbidden by him. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, it is illicit for the heart to smell the scent of certainty, while contentment with other than God dwells therein. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, trust in God is that the heart lives with Allah Most High without other attachment. He also said, trust in God is the state of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and earning is his sunnah. So whoever maintains his state will never abandon his sunnah. He rahimahullah ta'ala said the first station of trust in God is that the servant be between the hands of God, exactly as the dead body is between the hands of the one who washes the dead. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, when God created the world, he placed sin and ignorance within satisfaction of the appetite and knowledge and wisdom within hunger. When Sahal hungered, he was powerful, and whenever he ate, he became weak. He rahimahullah ta'ala said there is no worship of God like that of opposing the soul and passion. Retreat is only sound by eating licit foods, and eating licit foods is only sound by discharging what is due towards God. He rahimahullah ta'ala said there is no helper other than God. There is no guide other than the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are no provisions other than taqwa, piety, and there is no work other than perseverance in taqwa. A man came to Sahal and told him, a robber broke into my house and stole my belongings. Sahal said, give thanks to God. If a robber had entered your heart and corrupted your belief in God's oneness, then what would you do? He rahimahullah ta'ala said the saints' actions are perpetually in accord with the divine law. He rahimahullah ta'ala said, he who subdues his soul with correct behavior worships God sincerely. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Bismillah Muhammad.
The learned men are of three classes. One class comprise those who ruin themselves and also ruin others. Another class make themselves fortunate and make others also fortunate. Such learned men call others towards good. The third class, learned men call ruin to themselves but make others fortunate. Section 5. Manners. Manners to be observed by teachers and students. These manners comprise 10 duties. 1. The first duty of a student is to keep himself free from impure habits and evil matters. Efforts to acquire knowledge is the worship of mind. It purifies secret faults and takes to God. Prayer is observed by outward organs, and as outward purity is not gained except by outward organs, so worship by mind, the fountain head of acquisition of knowledge, cannot be attained without the removal of bad habits and evil attributes. The Prophet ﷺ said, religion is founded on cleanliness, so outward and inward purities are necessary. God says the polytheists are impure. It is understood from this that purity and impurity are not merely external, as the polytheists also keep their dresses clean and bodies clean, but as their mind is impure, so they are generally impure. The inward purity is of greatest importance. The Prophet ﷺ therefore said, angels do not enter a house wherein there are dogs. Human mind is a house, the abode of angels, the place of their movements. The blameworthy evils like anger, lust, rancor, envy, pride, conceit, and the like are dogs. When dogs reside in a heart, where is the place for the angels? God takes the secrets of knowledge to the hearts through the angels. They do not take it except to the pure souls. Hazrat Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anh said, knowledge is not acquired through much learning. It is a light cast in heart. A certain sage said, knowledge is God-fear, as God said, the learned among the people fear God most. 2. The second duty of a student is to reduce his worldly affairs and keep aloof from kith and kin, as acquisition of knowledge is not possible in these environments. For this reason, a certain sage said, God has not gifted two minds to a man. For this reason, a certain sage said, knowledge will not give you its full share till you surrender your entire mind to it. 3. The third duty of a student is not to take pride or exalt himself over the teacher, but rather entrust to him the conduct of all his affairs and submit to his advices as a patient submits to his physician. The Prophet ﷺ said, it is the habit of a believer not to flatter anyone except when he seeks knowledge. Therefore, a student should not take pride over his teacher. Knowledge cannot be acquired except through modesty and humility. God said, herein there is warning for one who has got a heart or sets up ear while he himself being a witness. The meaning of having a heart is to be fit for receiving knowledge and one who is prepared and capable of understanding knowledge. Whatever the teacher should recommend to the student, the latter should follow it, putting aside his own opinion. The people should question only in the matter which the teacher permits him. Here there is an instance of Moses and Khidr. Khidr said, you will not ask me anything I do. Still, Musa a.s. questioned him, and for that he separated him. 4. The fourth duty of a student is that he should first pay no attention to the difference, whether about worldly sciences or sciences of the hereafter, as it may perplex his mind and he may lose enthusiasm. He should adopt first what the teacher says and should not argue about the different madhabs or sects. 5. The fifth
جزاك الله
duty.
خيرا
وعليكم
محبا
السلام.
وصلى الله
على
على
سيدنا
سيدنا
محمد.
محمد.